And joining me right here on the Mark Moses Show, here for a Friday on the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, is my great friend Damon with Spacefish. Check out their website. It's spacefish.com. We were both on vacation, or as the Europeans say, holiday last week. So, Damon, we'll start there. I hope you had a great time last week.
Yeah, buddy, it was awesome. Thank you. Same to you. Hope you had a good time with your week off. We did a Tennessee mountains trip, which was super cool. And it was just us, family of four, and we had an awesome time exploring like the Smoky Mountains and all that. It was great.
That's really cool, dude. I liked last week where I woke up and I didn't have to do anything. It was great. There's nowhere to go. And people tried calling, texting me. Sorry, bro. I'll see you next month. Now it's nonstop, right? And
yeah.
And I like you're my therapist. And I'm right back to the getting up at 3:30 in the morning, and then I can't fall back to sleep because I got too much on my mind. Before we get to fishing, I just want to do this with you. This is a crazy week, dude, where we lost Theo Huxtable. We lost so 80s. Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. They always come in threes. What are your thoughts, Damon?
It was just a little overwhelming, to be honest with you. I think Theo went first. It's like he drowned. What? That's just crazy. And then it's like Ozzy passed away, and I'm like, he just did like a huge reunion tour with Black Sabbath like 2-3 weeks ago, or felt like 2-3 weeks ago. And then when the Hulkster died, man, it was over the top. And it's funny. Like I mentioned to you, I was out back grilling last night, and my youngest son comes out and he's like, "Dad, did you hear Hulk Hogan passed away?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was a Hulkamaniac, dude. Like, I grew up with this guy. I watched him all the old WrestleManias, the whole nine, the Iron Sheik." I said, "You know how many leg drops I did on my friends in the front yard when I was a kid? The big power leg, coming down on them, headlocks, the whole nine." But dude, it's just sad. I hate to see it because it just reminds you we're getting older, man. I don't like it.
I imagine your mother was like yelling at you, "Damon, stop doing leg drops on your friend." That's what happened. That's what I imagine.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Tuesday night after I heard Ozzy died, I went down the rabbit hole. I went on YouTube and I watched some of those episodes of the Osbournes because I remember seeing them when they happened. And we see Ozzy's like a family man. He's got these children and I watched a clip of him on David Letterman from 1982. That's the year I was born. And Letterman's asking him like, "Did you really bite the head off a bat?" And like Ozzy's trying to like play it off. And I'm just watching that. And he was on Conan O'Brien. And so much that. And then the Hulkamania thing. Look, it's so complicated. Some of the things out of the ring with him or some of these controversies, right? But again, you look at the impact he had on American culture, not just wrestling or sports.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is.
Yep.
Everybody. And just the 80s and 90s. And for me, when he turned into a bad guy, the NWO in the 90s, so shocking. Like, you know what it is? It's, and I was talking with my dad about this last night. Okay, when you were in the 80s, like when you were a kid, you understood, they taught you this is the good guy and this is the bad guy. Like, you went, oh, okay, so I got to root for Hulk Hogan. And they really marketed him to children. That's where it had the crossover appeal. So when he turned into a bad guy, you never saw that, but wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then like the whole industry shifted where the bad guy is the anti-hero and you're rooting for him. Because before you root for the bad guy, you booed him. No. Okay.
Yeah.
So did it.
Yeah.
I used to watch, you need to watch this with your sons, even though now they're too old. I would watch Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan over and over. It's a stupid movie. Okay.
Well, so when I was a kid, I mean, WWF was so big. They started a Saturday morning cartoon, if you remember that. It was, so like it had Mr. T and Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, the whole crew, Macho Man, the whole nine. And it was awesome, So like, yes, it was very much marketed to the kids, you know what I mean? And I mean, golly, I just remember the WrestleMania at my buddy's house, like, 10 of us piled in there. It was just such an incredible experience because that was all pre-social media, pre-cell phones. If you wanted to see it, like, you had to be there. You know what I'm saying? And there's And as much as I appreciate social media for what it is and, the communication aspect of it, there's something to be said about those days where you had to show up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. I never saw him wrestle in person. Did you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, but I didn't pick up on him. So growing up in Florida, which was really cool, is we had, I remember Dusty Rhodes and Kevin Sullivan and all these guys that we had. And what I didn't realize at the time that there were different circuits of wrestling. So we had this group that I would watch usually Saturday or Sunday mornings. I couldn't remember when it was, but all these, the Road Warriors, this tag team, and all these guys, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and all these other guys were in there. But then WWF kind of took over. And so I remember when he beat, we watched it when he beat the Iron Sheik for the belt. And I remember we must have had, no kid, 10 of us friends in front of the TV watching that at my buddy's house. I'll never forget it because before we actually watched it, we had a Tecmo Bowl, you know what I mean, playing the football game. It was the whole thing. And then WWF first WrestleMania came on after that. So I remember it vividly, and we had a ball. It was unbelievable.
Okay, but did you see him in person?
Oh, no. I've never been to an actual, I can honestly say I've never been to as much as I love wrestling when I was growing up, I never went to an actual wrestling match. No, I've never been to one.
It's the best. It's the best because it's a sporting event, but you don't really care about the outcome. It's not like it's not like when you're watching your Miami Dolphins and they're ripping your heart out. You really care. It's this great dinner theater because you get costumes and you learn about these characters. It's soap opera. It's fantastic. There's hot ladies walking around. I love it. I've loved it since I was a kid. Okay, it's the best.
It sounds like a blast.
Oh, I'm taking you. We're going. All right, we're gonna go.
I'd love to go do that. That'd be fun. That'd be an awesome time.
Yeah, that is so. Yeah, so last night, I know we're 7 minutes in. People are waiting for the Fisher report. I'm sorry, it could wait. All right, this is more important right now. Last night I went down again the rabbit hole where I started watching old Hulk Hogan matches where he's taking on Andre the Giant, and him and Macho Man are joining forces to make the Mega Powers. And man, I was so young when that was on. And I loved Mean Gene Okerlund where he's interviewing.
Mean Gene, man, absolutely.
So that we all it's so American. It's just it's a part of American culture.
100%. Yes,
it is. So it's so people in Africa, Europe, Asia. I'm sorry, I know you saw you. It's so part of American culture. I can't stress that. So,
yes.
I never saw him wrestle in person. I feel bad now. I never did. And the craziest of them all, and I did not bring this up yesterday. Who survives now? Who's the only guy who's still living? Ric Flair. What? How is that possible? I
have no idea how that's possible. Yeah.
The guy who ruined his body purposely, he's still got. He's like the Keith Richards. How is he still alive?
Yeah, right.
So maybe exercising, eating right. Maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe hey. All right. That's our thoughts on Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And Ozzy. All right, let's go to the Fisher report. And here's the key. You can go 24/7, 365 to spacefish.com to get all the latest updates, photos, videos, deals on equipment, or where to fish. And the report, it's all on there. Okay. Everything's on there except Damon's private phone number. All right. Besides that, it's all on there. Okay. Here we go. Let's go to offshore. Take it away, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, man. So this is Captain Chris Cameron. And so we've actually had a little bit of a break in the rain, which has been nice. I know we need more rain, but it's, when you're trying to fish offshore, you want to time it. So let's just talk about offshore because we always talk about the weekend fishing forecast. And if it was me or you, what would I recommend? So this weekend looks fantastic. It is Florida, it is summertime. Can a rain shower come through? 100%. We know how this works, right? Thunderstorms can pop up and come through. But the overall forecast is low as far as rain, but anything can happen. But the wind is low. Winds are out of the southwest, both Saturday and Sunday. They're low winds, which means the seas are going to be calm. And Sunday even looks calmer than Saturday, which will probably wake up Sunday. It looks like glass. We joke and call it Lake Atlantic when it's like that. But it is supposed to be calm. So if you can get offshore this weekend, this is what I would suggest. So Chris basically says we've been working 8A the most. and have been rewarded with a mixed bag. There's a lot going on 8A and Pelican Reefs right now. And it is the mixed bag. Kingfish, lots of kingfish. An unusually large number of mahi were caught over the last probably 7 to 10 days for this time of year, targeting those same shallow water areas, which is really cool because they're catching kingfish, mahi, an occasional cobia, an occasional sailfish, blackfin tuna, and actually the blackfin tuna that they're catching are unusually large. I mean, I think we have a picture of it here in a little bit, man, but it's unbelievable. And then they got this huge wahoo too out there. So that's a great place to target. They've had a hard time locating live baits. They said they had a good run where they were getting it pretty consistently, but now they're having a hard time finding it. So just get a box of frozen minnows. If you have a downrigger, that's a game changer out there in the reefs, because a lot of times when you're looking at your depth chart or your GPS, your bottom finder, basically whatever you want to call it, you can see these fish in congregations down there. And if you can get that bait down in the water column with the downrigger and fish, if you see them suspended around 40 feet or 50 feet or even close to the bottom, it's a game changer. And that's a lot of times how you'll pick up the cobia and stuff like that. So offshore is really good. It's been really, really good. So I highly recommend if you can do it this weekend, go do it.
We're here with Damon with spacefish.com. Let's go to near shore. I know you got a lot of info on this. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, so this is Captain Jim Ross, and so this is really, really cool. So every year we get these big congregations of redfish, these ocean redfish, school up, and it's for the spawn. They're spawning basically, and they come by. They're migrating past our coast, and I've been lucky enough to be out there before and come across these schools of fish. It is just so cool to see because there's tons of them, and like he says here, they're in big groups, 400 or 500 fish, and they're acting more like jacks because they're just ravenous, man. Anything you throw out there, they'll hit, from top water lures. Matter of fact, I remember one of the guys from our fishing club caught one on fly a number of years ago. He took his fly right out there, and that was his goal, to try to catch one on fly, and he did. It's just such a cool fishery, and they're there. When you run out of the port or Sebastian, you may have to just spend a little time looking for them. But if you stumble across these fish, they're so much fun to catch, and it's such a short window to do it. But man, if you get offshore this weekend, take some time and cruise around these nearshore waters and see if you can locate these schools, because they are so much fun.
Okay, I'm trying to make sure I do this right. All right, let's go to the surf now. What's going on this weekend for the surf then, Damon?
So this is Snookman Wayne Landry. So actually, with these southwest winds, we should have some really calm surf, which means this is a great time of year to target like snook and tarpon and some of those fish that you can cast to off of the surf, in addition to dropping some pompano rigs out there and trying to get some whiting and some pompano, stuff like that. Not as many pompano, it's just summertime. There's still a few here and there. Getting some whiting, a few black drum, some margates around where there's some rocks, around the Satellite Beach area, stuff like that. But what Wayne was basically saying, he said, look for bait. Look for these bait schools. And if you can find these bait schools, it'll be mullet, glass minnows, that type of thing. The fish are going to be right there. And it's not unusual for this time of year for somebody to catch a kingfish or a cobia off the beach, because these bait schools come right up to the beach and you can literally cast to them. And the best way to do it is if you can get some of this bait and then fish it back out around these schools. They call it match the hatch. That's a great way to target these fish. And he was even saying big redfish, jack crevalle, tarpon, sharks, they're all hanging around these bait pods. So it's just, it's really, really cool. So, take some time, cruise along the beach, stop in at different exits or different beach accesses and just look and see, take a minute and look. And if you see bait popping and birds diving, that's where you want to fish. It doesn't get any easier than that.
All right, let's go to the lagoons here with Damon with spacefish.com. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, man, this is my man Nick, Cocoa Beach Surf Fishing Center. So basically, he was saying that up that way the river is getting really good. They're starting to see some redfish and some big tarpon up in the river. And he said downsizing your lure presentation has been key. Small paddle tails, jerk baits, top water live shrimp or finger mullet have been getting more looks than the larger baits. So just scale down your baits, fish smaller baits, target the mangrove shorelines, and there's some good stuff going on in the lagoons right now.
And then finally, let's go to the fresh water for the fish report this weekend. What do you got?
Yeah, man, this is Captain Kenny Haas. He fishes down on headwaters almost exclusively down at the south end of our county. And he says the water temperature is 84 degrees, which is warm. And basically what that means is it's an early and late bite is what you're shooting for. You want to be on the, pushing off at daybreak, that type of thing, and trying to get it, while the temperatures are the coolest they are going to be that day. But he said the artificial bite has been good, but live bait has been ridiculous, is what he said. He said he's been burning through 4 dozen shiners, in the first, hour of the day, which is insane. That means they're just catching fish after fish after fish. So 4 dozen shiners, that's a lot of shiners to go through. His clients have been having a field day down there catching those big bass, and then just a ton of them. So yeah, man, a lot of good stuff going on.
That is Damon's official report for the weekend. Here's what we're going to do. Let's go to the photos. And here's the key. If you want to submit your photos, videos, all that cool stuff, you could do it. Just shoot us an email. All right. What do we got here, buddy?
Yeah, man. So we're talking about those bass. Captain Kenny Haas. This is him, man. One of his clients holding up a stud. And that's what you get right there. I mean, you catch them on artificial, catch them on live bait. Like you said, live bait has been popping. And that's just one of those pictures of a big old bass.
There's 2 studs in that photo. That's what it should be said. All right, let's go to the next one. Here, I think this goes back to Nick with the redfish. What do you got?
Yeah, man. So this was Nick's photo that he submitted this week. And this is just a fellow that's out there in his yak, man. He's just fishing around the mangroves, and he got in on a nice little redfish. And that's what it is, just small baits. But don't kid yourself. You catch some fish with small bait. They said elephants eat peanuts, and I'm telling you, we can see some big fish caught with small baits. And this is just look at that smile, man. This dude's fired up.
Yeah, that's a great photo. Always with the smile. Here's the snook photo. What do we got? Oh man, this is nice, Damon.
Check her out, dude. And this is just a big old snook that was caught off the beach. And this is what I'm talking about, man. This is the time of year to do this. These fish are spawning, and that's why they're closed. The season is closed on them right now until September, because you're not allowed to keep them as slot fish right now. You can catch and release only, but they are so much fun, and they're a blast to catch. They fight like crazy. But this is what you do. You catch one, you get a picture, you get it back in the water so it can make more snook. And then that's the beauty of fishing for snook in summertime off the beach.
I know the perspective of the photo. It's right by the lens, but that fish, it looks as it's tall as she is. Like, if you think of that is one big fish right
there. That's a nice snook, man. That's a nice snook.
Yeah, let's go to, you said a lot today. All right, here I believe is Jim. Oh, nice photo.
Yes. So these are those ocean redfish we're talking about, those schools. And that's just one. Then one of his clients pulled off one of these schools. And yeah, man, and this is what you get. And honestly, that's kind of a small fish for those schools. Like, they get big. I remember one I caught one time. Like, I remember getting beside the boat, and I was just like, that is an enormous redfish, because these are big breeders. These fish are spawning. You know what I mean? So, but that's a beautiful fish. It's a great photo, but that is by far not one of the bigger ones you're going to catch.
Yeah, it's a great photo. We got one more. I think this is, oh, wow. Look, what is this, Damon?
Yes. So this is what I mentioned earlier. We're getting some big blackfin tuna. This is what I'm talking about. That is a big blackfin tuna. And we're getting them pretty consistently out there in the reefs targeting kingfish. So when you're out there, these guys go out there, they're targeting kingfish primarily. They're targeting anything, but the kingfish are usually most consistent. So they know they can put their clients on the kingfish. But these are some of the bycatches that come along with that: sailfish, cobia, blackfin tuna, the dolphin. They're not out there targeting dolphin, but they're catching a lot of them too right now, which is really cool. But this is one of those big, beautiful blackfin tuna, man. They're delicious to eat. They fight like nothing else. I mean, a tuna just they're in their own category. They're like bulldogs. And yeah, what a beautiful fish.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for lunch. That looks good.
That would be good. I'm telling you.
We need to be at dinner, and then it's like we're eating that, and I'm like, I can really taste it as a fighter as well. It really put up a fight. It gives it that little spunk to it. I like it. I know
something to it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Damon. Should we go fishing this weekend?
This weekend's going to be beautiful. Yes, get out and go fishing. Take advantage of the good weather.
Great stuff, Damon. Thanks for your help, and I'll see you next week.
Take care, buddy.